I'm going to give these cards a real good ruffle shuffle again, because I want to ask about the Zionist agenda. Now, there are so many that say you have to support Israel no matter what, because that's where Christ came from, and so they are the chosen people. The Zionists are not the chosen people, okay? They are warmongers. Now, the genuine Jews, the ones that are the real heavy Orthodox, etc., they do not agree with the Zionists. They do not go into the war, okay? So this ideology that we've been fed for so many years about Israel, and they're the chosen people, and if you're a good Christian, you support Israel no matter what, is a total fallacy. Now, I know I'm going to get pushback from that, from some people that can't see through the difference between Zionist and just hear the word Israel and immediately say, well, no, that's where Jesus came from, and so they're the chosen people. It says so in the Bible. Well, there's a reason that they were out in the desert for 40 years. Because why? They were stiff-necked, they were unyielding, they wouldn't listen, okay? And the reason that he went to the Gentiles. Why? Because they wouldn't listen. So he came first, Yeshua ben Joseph first came as a reformer of Judaism. He wanted to give them something more elevated. But we had those back then that were what? Worshiping the golden calf. They didn't want the Ten Commandments. They didn't want any of these things coming down the hill. They wanted to worship the golden calf. And there is still that section that's still worshiping the golden calf. And they are not true Jews in the sense of being the chosen people, okay? The Zionists are still worshiping the golden calf. They're still warmongers. They still don't want to listen. They still don't want to bend the knee. And if Christ came back in physicality of form, they would be the first to want to again string him up yet again. Put him over to the Romans, to be strung up. So anyway, let's see what the cards have to say. Now, I know what I'm saying is controversial for a lot of people. But some of these Israelis, I'm telling you, I lived in India for 5 years. The most hated people that would come were the Israelis. They were just so heinous. Okay, so heinous. Rude, condescending, just the things that they would do when they would come to India. And again, we still have this thing where, yes, the Holocaust was horrid. There is no denying that, at all, but so many of them still have this chip on the shoulder about everybody should placate them because of the Holocaust, etc., and that they're being so abused, and yet they railroad people, and yet claim that they are, so abused. So they want to have this moral, put themselves on a pedestal, and still play the card of being, we're so abused, and, that whole dynamic that goes with that. So I want to see what the cards have to say about the Zionist movement, BeBe, Netanyahu, and all of the drama that's happening, warmongers, convinced, of course, Trump to go into bombing Iran. And BeBe's not going to stop. They're murdering the Palestinians. They're stealing their land. They're stealing their homes. And then people still want to put them on a freaking pedestal that they could do no wrong. And that's just not true. Okay, so let's see what the cards have to say. So the reading is about, let's see our topic, this new cup, the cup of abominations, overflowing cup. It's not peace-filled, okay? They throw the peace out. It's the cup of abominations is overflowing. Energy coming into it. What's being juggled? What's being juggled? Monetary, concrete things being juggled. Okay? So above it, we have the dark deeds. Need I say more? Yeah, you think that this Zionist movement is of God? You think yeah, no. It's a corruption, juggling money, and things up in the air. They want what they want, what they want. They're going to steal the land of the Palestinians. I remember they were stealing one land, and the Jewish guy said, well, if I don't take it, somebody else will get to take it. Okay? So yeah, above it is done by what? Greed. Greed, etc. Things they're chained to of the dark. So what's going on now with it? Theft. Again, the takeaway, they have to look over their shoulder for what they're doing, what they're carrying, what they're leaving behind, the mentality of all this drama, the theft that's going on. The challenge is what? Yeshua ben Joseph, the fish, okay, what they're being fed. Okay, that's my card for Yeshua ben Joseph, or the higher elevated teachings of compassion, etc., caring for people. But these ones are wanting to have the theft, having to look over their shoulder. Above it, embattling people with the foundation of the harsh mindset, unyielding mindset, okay? Potential outcome, a new action, outside influence, the choices being made in life, the path being walked. Above it, light coming out with the foundation of what's being built. So what's up in the air? Their unyielding attitude, mental state about what they're building, what they're constructing. Above it is the dark side, embattling people, and the light being shed on it. Now, we have coming into it the cup of abominations overflowing, juggling money, juggling finance, juggling the things of the world, if you will. Okay, we have this takeaway of the mentality, the theft, and the challenge to that is genuine spiritual teachings, potential outcome or new actions because of the choices they're making in life. So let's see what we have driving it. First thing driving it is control. Things of the world, worshiping the golden calf. Okay? It's about control in this world. Pushing people to the edge. When it comes to their leadership, okay, what's happening? Greed. But where this is moving to is what? More tower moments when it comes to the people. Because for them, it's all about monetary. It's all about their legacy. It's all about this corruption that goes back centuries. We need to come to bringing some more balance, a concrete message when it comes to those in power and what they're blocking when it comes to long-term, because for them it's all about wealth, power, ambition, and manipulation. And again, ferrying others in this morose state to somewhere else, feeding lies, things that are hidden, the nightmare scenario that they are causing, and their mental realm of fast-moving mind, revolving mind, the hamster wheel, when it comes to these narcissists trying to keep the lid on things, on what they're working on, what they've got in hand. And when it comes to justice now, it's gaining strength, and the swords are coming out. More is being understood about what they're doing. Judgment is coming, and agreement with what's going on overseas. A new concrete thing coming out when it comes to the truth, what's being offered up, the actions being controlled because of their past, because of being outside of spirituality, walking wounded with this that heaviness being carried, energetic heaviness. And the lovers within that are in this mental and emotional pain. The message of an action is overturning things, seeing from a different viewpoint, etc. So I don't see anything uplifting in this with the Zionist movement, with those of BeBe, Netanyahu, those that have been worshiping the golden calf since way back. And when they came down the mountain with the tablets, they didn't want it, okay? Out in the wilderness, 40 years, wouldn't bend the knee, still stiff-necked, still chasing wealth, still chasing power, still bending the knee to the ego. You know, like Satan says, bow down and worship me, bow down and worship ego, and all that you see here can be yours. And what did Yeshua ben Joseph say? Lay up for your treasures in heaven. It's not about what you greed and you can accumulate here. It's about higher perspective, higher dynamic, higher understanding. So on that note, I'll leave that here. Very self-explanatory. I know I'll get a lot of pushback from some people on this, and that's okay. You know, that's okay. But I'm going to put it out there. So on that note, we'll see you online.